Legendary television anchor and television talk show host Barbara Walters has died at the age of 93. I'm Tyrone Bowman. This is the Sunday edition of Tyrone Bowman Tonight. According to CNN, Barbara Walters, the pioneering TV journalist whose interviewing skills made her one of the most prominent figures in broadcasting, has died, her spokesperson confirmed to CNN. Barbara Walters passed away peacefully in her home surrounded by loved ones. She lived her life with no regrets. She was a trailblazer not only for female journalists, but for all women. Walters' spokesperson Cindy Berger told CNN in a statement. Walters began her national broadcast career in 1961 as a reporter, writer, and panel member for NBC's Today Show before being promoted to co-host in 1974. In 1976, Walters joined ABC News as the first female anchor on the evening news program. At that network, Walters launched the Barbara Walters Specials and 10 Most Fascinating People before becoming a co-host and correspondent for ABC News 2020 in 1984. Along the way, she interviewed every U.S. president and first lady since Richard and Pat Nixon. For more than 5 decades, Walters was a name to reckon with, whether speaking with world leaders on news programs in celebrities' homes for her regular Barbara Walters specials or on The View, a daytime talk show in which a diverse panel of women discuss the latest headlines. Her shows, some of which she produced, were some of the highest rated of their type and spawned a number of imitators. Indeed, The View, which debuted in 1997, paved the way for American talk shows, The Talk and The Chew, as well as such entries as Britain's Loose Women and Norway's Studio 5. Walters left The View in 2014 but remained a part-time contributor to ABC News for 2 years. I knew it was time, Walters told CNN's Chris Cuomo at the time. I like all the celebration, that's great. But in my heart, I thought I want to walk away while I'm still doing good work, so I will. Looking upon the numerous women who had looked up to her throughout her career, Walters said they were her legacy. How do you say goodbye to something like 50 years in television? She said in conclusion, how proud when I see all the young women who are making and reporting the news. If I did anything to help make that happen, that is my legacy. From the bottom of my heart to all of you with whom I have worked and who I have watched and been by my side, I can say thank you. Walters was married 4 times to business executive Robert Katz, producer Lee Gerber, and twice to entertainment mogul Merv Adelson. The second marriage to Adelson ended in 1992. She is survived by her daughter, Jackie, whom she and Gerber adopted in 1968. Walters was born September 25th, 1929 in Boston. Her father, Lou, was a nightclub owner and theatrical impresario. And young Barbara grew up around celebrities. One reason, she never appeared fazed by interviewing them. Walter earned her college degree from Sarah Lawrence College in 1953. Notoriously competitive, Walters was dogged in her pursuit of big get interviews, so much so that there were long-standing reports of rivalry between her and another of ABC's news stars, such as Diane Sawyer, who joined the network in 1989. That included most recently jockeying to land the first interview with Caitlyn Jenner, which Sawyer conducted in 2015. Walters, though, was no slacker in terms of her landing major interviews, including presidents, world leaders, and almost every imaginable celebrity, with a well-earned reputation for bringing her subjects to tears. Highlights included her 1999 interview with Monica Lewinsky, which was watched by an average of 48.5 million viewers, and a historic 1977 joint sit-down with Egypt's Anwar Sadat and Israel's Menachem Begin. Walters' first job on air was on NBC's Today Show in the 1960s, where she reported what were then perceived as women's stories. In 1974, she was officially named co-anchor of the show. 2 years later, She became, listen, 2 years later, she became for a time the best known person in television when she left Today to join ABC as the first woman to co anchor a network evening newscast, signing for a then startling $1 million a year. Though her term at that position was short lived, co anchor Harry Reisner never warmed to her. She had the last laugh, staying at the network for almost 4 decades and co hosting the magazine show 2020 with her old Today colleague Hugh Downs, The View, and countless specials. She was both mercilessly parodied on the early Saturday Night Live. Gilda Radner mocked her as she sometimes mushmouthed Baba Wawa, and richly honored with multiple Emmys, a Peabody, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, sometimes seen as brash, usually by men questioning her forthright demeanor. She could only shrug at the criticism. If it's a woman, it's caustic. If it's a man, it's authoritative. If it's a woman, it's too pushy. If it's a man, it's aggressive. In the best sense of the word, she once observed. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender, never quit.